Hello and welcome. It's Scott Moldenhauer from the Persuasion Consultants. If you're a sales coach, it's that time of the year where you're asking yourself questions like, what can I do to pull ahead? How can I help my salespeople approach physicians in a way that immediately creates more sales? And I want to flip this question on its head for a moment. Ask the question, what is hurting you? And what can you do about it? And for most sales managers, this is in the top 3. What is it? It's the physician-rep relationship where your rep goes into the doctor's office and on call number 1, the doc says, yep, that sounds good, I'll do it. Call number 2, yep, that sounds good, I'll do it. Call number 3, the doc says, yep, that sounds. Call number 26, the doc says, and before you know it, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months have passed by and nothing has changed. So the question we're going to ask, and the coaching tip I'm going to give you today, is how do you help your reps get out of this continuous loop? Because the faster you can do that, the faster your year is going to get off to a strong start. Here's how you do it. 2 steps. The first step is to ask, why is this doctor stuck? All of your reps, whether you have 10 of them on your team or 1,000 of them that you're responsible for, have dozens of these doctors in their territory. And the problem is that the rep is having surface level conversations with the doctor. What we really need to do, and what I'm going to show you how to do right now, is how do you get beneath the surface? Not on call number 26, but on call number 1 so you can immediately get off to a strong start. Here's how you do it. Here's how you coach it. Here's how you break the cycle. We all know that most calls take a typical structure. You open, you present, handle questions and objections, and then close the call. However, with this doctor, with the guy who's always saying, yep, sounds good, I'll do it, and nothing ever changes, you have to do just one thing differently. You have to coach your reps just before the close to ask for honesty, All right, Scott, what does that mean? Here's what it looks like in practice. Here's the takeaway slide. Here's how you say it. So you watch the rep open the call, probe for present, question, and then just when it feels like the close should be coming, you encourage the rep to say something like this. To say, hey doc, before I ask you the last question, I want to encourage you to please feel free to respond with brutal honesty. Hey doc, I'm going to ask you one last question, but before I do, feel free to reply with brutal honesty. What that does, and you'll watch it happen, is that this guy all of a sudden will put the need to be pleasant and tell everybody exactly what they want to hear, will replace that need with a desire, with the value to be honest. And you'll hear, really, if only this were different. Here's what holds me back. And that, as we all know, an objection is like a gift. We go from same results on call number 1, call number 2, call number 25, to instead, and this is the overall point, we stop the niceties and the surface level conversations right in the beginning, so quickly in the year we move on, advance our calls, advance our sales right from the start.